Welcome to Garage Sports Media. I'm Jackson. Got a great video planned today. Let's just dive straight into it. I want to start off talking about the Philadelphia Phillies. So, two tough losses at the moment that we are filming this video. It is Tuesday night. The team is traveling to Los Angeles to face the Dodgers Wednesday, hopefully Thursday, and then come back here on Saturday. But by the time that this video comes out, we'll know if that's going to happen or not. So I want to start off just talking about my sheer, utter disappointment with the performance that this team put out. Now, that game at Saturday, you're playing at home against the Dodgers. Now, arguably, one of the better teams in baseball. But, they had their holes going into the playoffs. They're starting to patch those up a bit. They're starting to look a little bit better, but still, it would have been one thing if this team got blown out, but the Dodgers gave them chance after chance after chance to capitalize, and they just came up short. Now, that first game, I do want to talk about that a little bit. It was, you get a little fired up 3-0 early. And then, you let up that big hit. Dodgers start to come back. Game starts to slip away from you. And then it gets to a certain point as a fan. And I'm sure the fans at the stadium could feel it too, where the team just kind of slips away. You can tell that this game was not going to them. And that's fine. But then you go into a must-win game on Monday. And you still come up short. Now, they lose that game 4-3. They have a chance to come back in the end. A decision was made to bunt. Bryson Stott goes to bunt the ball. Nick Castellanos, as slow as he is, does not make it to third. And there's an out recorded. Now, people can talk about this, that, or the other. Why didn't Rob pinch hit? Why didn't he put somebody in for Castellanos? He knows he's slow. And then someone else will say, well, he wants Bader to come in. And then once Bader is out there, then he wants Weston Wilson to go on base for him. And that's okay. That's understandable. And that wasn't the biggest issue with this game, with the last two games. That wasn't why they lost. But when poor decision-making and poor plays from some of your top players start to add up, then you start to get this big pile of crap. And that's what the last two games were. So, by the time this video comes out, that Wednesday game will have already been played. But I can only hope for the best. I can only hope that Thursday night we are back talking about Phillies versus Dodgers. But we'll only see. Time will tell. I think in this next game, they need to break everything out. We had a video earlier this week, me talking about my predictions, what the team may need to do, some things I'd like to see. We talked about Kyle Schwarber a lot. We talked about Edmundo Sosa. We talked about the pitching. Aaron Nola's starting in Game 3. So the pitching with that is scary. Nola has not been the same guy he was, and he's been rough the past couple of years. So I get worried about that. But I can make all the predictions that I want. All I can say about this team is that they are simply unpredictable. You go into this series thinking it's going to be a challenge, but the Phillies, they're good. They should look good, and then they don't. You want to sit here and say, oh, well, Kyle Schwarber had all these home runs throughout the season. Trust me, that's our guy. That's our top guy. And then in the postseason, nothing. So I think this team, if they do lose it Wednesday, needs to take a long, long look in the mirror and decide. Who do we bring back? Who do we let go? I have my thoughts. I think we need Harrison Bader on this squad, especially with the outfields looking like, and the type of player that he is. This is a young guy that you want to build your team around. He's not a veteran like Castellanos A guy that I, quite frankly, don't want to see next season. You know, I've been a huge Castellanos fan his entire time in Philly, but the way that he has played for this team and treated this team in the past couple of months, it's clear he doesn't want to be here. And so I think it's fine if Castellano goes. Now, a guy I think we need to keep, JT Realmuto. I think he is, if not one of, maybe the best catchers in baseball. Even at his older age, this guy is still fast, agile, and a great offensive player. You keep JT Realmuto. But a guy that I could get rid of, I'm thinking Brandon Marsh. I'm thinking Brandon Marsh has been subpar in his time here. He struggles in the field, so I think going forward, it's time to move on from him. Speaking of moving on, we're going to move into our next segment. It's a little bit of a different thing we're trying that has to do with the Phillies. All right, guys, we got a bit of a challenge today. So the Phillies starting 3 went 2 for 21 in the last 2 games against the Dodgers. So I'm going to blindfold myself. I've never played a game of organized baseball before, but today we're going to see, blindfolded, can I hit more than 2 balls?
Get ready.
For what?
For me to throw the ball.
All right.
Ready, throw. That was close, that was close.
I don't know. We might get it. We might. I could definitely get one, I think. One of these. We're getting close. We're getting close. I can feel it. Any one of these. What if one of these hits me?
Huh?
What if one of these hits me? Like, that sounded like it went by my head. Crushed it.
That was so close.
I could be like Bryson Stott and just bunt.
No.
One of these swings, I'm just going to dislocate my shoulder or something. Is that even possible?
Throw.
This next one, it's getting hit out of the park. Out of the park. 430 yards. This next one. Mm-hmm. Is it foul? Is it foul?
No, that's it. It's beyond the play set.
Ah! Get the camera. Let's go.
Where are you walking to?
Where is it?
Over here. Follow my voice. Just take your blindfold off.
Oh. All right. So pretty much, I'm already better than Kyle Schwarber, Mr. No Hit. But I'm tied with Bryson Trey. So let's see if I can beat him. Blindfold is down. Am I good? Does that count? Does that count? Does that count? Slow-mo on that swing. This professional swing we got going on. Let's get a slow-mo on that, guys. How about that? They're going to make edits of this. All right, guys. Last one right here. Let's see if we can get it. I've hit 1 out of 20 so far. There is 1 left. And still, somehow, I have only 1 hit less than the Phillies starting 3. That's it. Now, real quick, I do want to get into something that I think we should talk about a little bit. You got the NHL opening season starting tonight, this Tuesday. This video is going to be coming out on Thursday, so those games will already be decided. And after Thursday, once those games are played, I'm sure we'll have a little bit more to talk about. But going in, You got a couple great games. I'm really excited to be watching the Florida Panthers this year. But I am a Flyers guy myself. But all my Florida teams, I love my Florida teams, the Lightning and the Panthers. So both of those guys I'll be watching close this season. Can the Panthers three-peat? These guys are like the Kansas City Chiefs of hockey. So I'm excited to look at their season a little closer this year. But NHL is starting. Hockey is starting back up. So we'll be talking about it on the channel a little bit. We'll have some videos on it. But I want to move into about the Eagles a lot. You want to hear about the Eagles? We got a video that just came out on Monday where we talk about the Eagles and their matchup a little bit more. But I want to look around the NFL and maybe some other spots. So one of the spots that I want to look at is right down below us in Baltimore. What is going on with this Ravens team? What are we doing? I myself enjoy watching Ravens football. You got Lamar Jackson, who is one of the greater quarterbacks of our generation. You've got Derrick Henry, who is a Hall of Fame running back. Two great guys that you want to see have a great year, but the defense just again and again and again is allowing the most points in the NFL. So this Baltimore team and their core, they're only so strong. There's only so much that you can do on offense. These guys are scoring points. The numbers are there, but the defense just cannot stop anybody. And that is a big problem that we're seeing in that whole division. This Browns defense is pretty strong, and surprisingly, it's one of the strongest in that division. The Bengals defense is very weak. The Ravens defense is even weaker. And the Steelers, they're still trying to figure it out. They brought in a couple of guys in the offseason, made a couple of moves. So this Steelers team is still figuring it out. But, that whole division, their defense just struggles. So, moving into some other storylines lately, the Bills are now 4-1 after falling to Drake May at home. I said it going into the season. I thought that the Patriots were going to be number 2 in the AFC East. The Bills obviously being at number 1. You expect Josh Allen to perform. I think he's having another MVP caliber season, but that is just another game where a division rival gets the best of you. So now we don't have an undefeated team in the NFL. You got a lot of 4-1s and a lot of 3-2s, but no undefeated teams. So going forward, it's really anybody's race, anybody's league. This just goes to show how football doesn't end after week 4. Football doesn't end after week 5. The power rankings that we had those first couple of weeks, we had the Green Bay Packers in there. I'm not even sure if they're top 5. I don't even know if they're top 10 right now the way they've been playing. The way they played against the Cowboys, the way they played against the Browns, I don't even know. But they had that bye week. Let's hope they can get it together a bit. But the NFL is just turn after turn. There is always something happening in this short little season that we do have. And a couple more injuries. So, you got that Colts kicker going out. And then you have Hampton, the running back for the Chargers, going out for into the next couple of games as well. So a couple key guys getting injured this past week. But somehow this week 5 has been really one of the lower injury reports that we've had in a while. This has been a really injury-prone season. We've talked about it before. So we're very lucky that this week, for the most part, you didn't see a lot of guys getting injured. But, with this NFL teams that are going forward, I think some of your top teams that you want to be looking at, I think that the Buccaneers need to be in that conversation. I think that Eagles obviously still are in that conversation. So if I wanted to lay out my top 5 right now, if I had to lay out my top 5 teams in the NFL, number 1, I'm still probably going Buffalo Bills. Number 2, I go to the Detroit Lions. So we got Bills, Lions. Number 3, I'm keeping the Eagles there. I think once they get it together, they're going to be a lot better. It's a really strong team. But the way they've been performing, their offense is just not better than Buffalo or Detroit's. So we got Buffalo, Detroit, and Philadelphia coming in at number 4. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, Baker Mayfield is just taking this team and running with it. And number 5, I really don't think that we could have expected this with the amount of injuries that they've had, but somehow Kyle Shanahan is coaching himself to a Super Bowl with the number 5 49ers. So to run through that list one more time, we've got the Buffalo Bills at 1, the Detroit Lions at 2, the Eagles at 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4, and the San Francisco 49ers at 5. That's all we got today. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the others on our channel. We got weekly videos going over some sports news and talking a little bit more in depth about what is going on through the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, and the NBA. Now make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments. Are you excited for this NHL season? Who do you have winning the Stanley Cup? Let us know. Talk to you guys next week.